Yo! What's up, Facebook? What's up? This is Lucy. Look at her. She needs a big time haircut right there. Big time. Say hi, Lucy. She needs a big time haircut. And she's got a grooming session coming up on Friday. So I just wanted to share with you guys a few things. First and foremost, happy holidays. Happy holidays. I'm noticing out there, when I'm out there, it is extremely tense and tight. Like, tension is like super duper high. You're going Christmas shopping, everybody's just on edge. I'm going up the elevator in my room, in my building, and people are like, I'm like, are you noticing that everybody's really on edge? And this is, par for the course. We got spending a lot of money. We are, there's not a lot of light out. I mean, those of you in Australia, it's complete opposite problem, right? It's just midway through summer, and you're just loving life. The days are long. It's really different over here in North America. What's up, Tara Jane? What's up, Ramina? How you doing? We'll be talking about anger. Blaheen Dooley from Ireland. It's late night over there right now. If you're on, what's up? This is for your specific question about the holiday season and joining family and friends, and specifically family. And it's a very important topic for me because I found myself, there were times where when I wasn't in the right mental state, I would go over to my parents' place during holidays or even just family get-togethers, and I would feel myself tensing up. And this is very normal, first and foremost, when you have a shared history. All right, Kathleen, welcome. Hey, Carolyn. This is for you, my dear Kathleen. It's all for you. This is for you. You're the only angry one. Completely, you're the only angry one this time of year. But let me explain to you. So here I am going to my parents' place, and I feel my tension rising. Okay, I feel it rising, and this is normal when you have a shared history with somebody. If you have a shared history with somebody, what happens is we have a story about them, and there's a voice in your mind that's going at all times. It's constantly going, and what happens is we've taken the past stories, and for example, the story that I have been saying is that my parents, my mom and dad don't accept me for who I am. They're very critical. They don't accept my life choices. So imagine me walking into my parents' home with that occurrence, with that belief, my parents don't accept me. I bring that in, and all of a sudden, when I open the door and my mom looks, and she looks me up and down like she always does, and then she says, "Did you just buy that? Did you just spend money on that?" Or whatever. She's making some sort of a critical analysis of what's happening. It's something innocent. However, I'm bringing the story of they don't accept my life choices, and boom, I erupt. What are you talking about? You never accept my life choices. Ah! And it's an interesting thing that happens whenever we bring the past into the present, we project it into the future. So consider, first and foremost, that when you are with family, first and foremost, understand there isn't just like a simple dialogue going on. There is this story that you're bringing into the table, then your kids are bringing to the table, and my mom doesn't ever accept me, and then my kids are this, my mom is that, and we're bringing that, and what we do is we start to gather evidence to support what we see. Now, there are two major delusions that we face when we get angry. Every time I've ever gotten angry, it happened a couple weeks ago, I was at my parents' place for a family dinner, bringing in that story that I am not supported in my decisions, and sure enough, they brought up a past event because they have their story from the past, and then all of a sudden, it was a dinner conversation, and I had my friends Steve and Juno over for family dinner. And I started getting into it with my parents. And afterwards, I sat back and I go, okay, so where are my delusions? And here they are. Every single time you experience anger, what you're doing is you're projecting with two what I call delusions, unrealistic expectations that you have on other people. And when you do that, what happens is it creates this massive confrontation. And the way that you get out of it is, I'm going to explain to you how you can prevent that from happening over the holidays. It's going to make the hugest difference. So here's basically what happens. Number one delusion is they should see things my way. In other words, they should follow my values. They should live according to my values. Well, the fact is, my parents come from a different generation. They have different priorities. I went on a trip with my dad to Italy just recently, and I just sat back and went, holy shit, it is amazing how truly different we are. What he deems incredibly meaningful and important is completely different than what I deem as important. So it's important that you understand that the first key towards anger is basically the unrealistic expectation on another person that they should see things my way and value what I value and find meaningful what I find meaningful. In other words, it's a delusion. They don't. You have to understand and embrace the fact that the way that you view the world is completely different. And if you want to create harmony, which is what I'm assuming that you are doing just because you're in this group, because you're working towards developing yourself and creating the biggest, baddest, most rock star version of yourself possible, you have to come in with the understanding that it's up to me to get into their listening. It's up to me to get into their world in order for me to be the cause of the matter of unity. Because it's not going to happen from any other way. So that's the first thing, is they should see things my way. Number two, they should be one-sided. In other words, they should be nice, never mean. They should be kind, never cruel. They should be supportive and not challenging. Well, what if I told you that they are not supposed to be supportive of you when what they perceive is in the way of them getting what their highest values are? So consider that the reason why the anger starts to happen during the holidays is because, number one, we're bringing our past resentments and hurts and regrets into the mix. We're gathering evidence to support what we believe. We have unrealistic expectations on them to see things our way and to be one-sided and to not have a dark passenger, a darkness, the way that you have a darkness, a shadow. They do as well. So it's wise for us to really embrace what that is and see what that is. And when you see their dark passenger coming out, it's up to you to get conscious, not them. It's up to you to get conscious. You're in this group. You're the one that's working towards clearing up your stuff and creating the highest version of yourself. So it's up to you to look and see what is their dark passenger. What is their dark passenger is anger. Anger is part of your darkness, that shadow that just the dark part of you that comes out. It comes out when they are perceiving that they're not feeling loved. Okay? So it's really, really important. It's super important for you to get that every time you're angry, you have an unmet expectation of them to be one-sided or to see things your way, which they won't. They won't embrace the fact that and they shouldn't. People, especially in a family dynamic, have very different views, very different ways of looking at the world. So it's very important for you to really get that. Number two, what am I bringing into the equation? So, solution. How do we solve this dilemma? And the way that you solve it is what I've been doing. It's work like a charm. And it's a secret that I've been doing a lot of reading, personal development, coaching, and this is what I teach my peeps in the Powerful Alignment Mastermind program when we get into dark passenger and advanced communication strategies, which is coming up next time in our next webinar. It's really about deciding who you're going to be for your family. So I remember Carolyn is on listening. Hopefully, if you're still on, let me know if you're still there listening, Carolyn. I remember our session when we did an overview session last year, and you came in completely angry at your kids. one of the great breakthroughs that I had when I was doing your session, when you were really in that state, that angry family dynamic state, you realize that your highest value is that of being a matriarch. So consider who you are going to be as a stand for your family. You have to decide that. And so what I have my clients do in the Powerfully Aligned Mastermind program is mission statement, is reconnect to your mission statement every single day. So before you come home, and I have mine on my, on my, I get all my clients to put it on their iPhone or their voice recorder and listen to it each day. So if you're driving home from work and you're listening to your mission statement, you've already decided who you're going to be for your family. Okay? You have to really decide who you are going to be for your family. So when you decide who you're going to be for your family, then when you go home or when you wake up on Christmas morning and they're having a dark moment, you're not taking it personally, projecting unrealistic expectations on them, triggering your dark passenger to come out and just start getting in anger mode, which really never helps the situation. I've tried it. It doesn't freaking work. But if you preemptively decide who you're going to be for your family, when they react or they get annoying or they start triggering those old habits or those old things, you then can respond instead of react, and responding with love and getting in there listening. And then there's some great communication strategies that you can learn that I teach my my peeps in the Powerfully Aligned Mastermind group. It's really about recreating, about, as Werner Erhard said, really labeling their emotions. Just by labeling or recreating what they're going through helps to make it disappear, dissolve it amazingly. This is a little trick that you can do. If, let's say, your dad or your mom or your kid is starting to have a meltdown, instead of going, what the fuck's the matter with you? You always do that. You're never getting him, which is the language that we're constantly bringing from the past and tossing it into the future. Why not try saying, you know what, it really sounds like you're quite upset about it. It sounds like you're pretty frustrated about it. And by recreating it, restating it, it actually makes it disappear or dissolve, tremendously, at least by 50%. It brings it down. When we are in our angry state, we are not at our best. You basically are an asshole. I'm an asshole when I'm angry, so are you. And so if you want to really create harmony, decide who you're going to be, which version of you is going to show up that day, and when you get angry, realize that you've just neglected that part. So let me know if you found this useful. What I'm doing, I put together a training that's coming in 1 week time, in less than a week, in 6 days. This incredible training, only spots for 100 people, that teach people, professionals and entrepreneurs and even individuals who are struggling with anxiety, depression over the holidays, these 5 shifts that I put everybody through that absolutely transforms stress, depression, anxiety into powerful connection, into aligning with your highest, most badass version of yourself, expanding your sexuality, sensuality, helping you become a more powerful communicator and gain freedom over your mind, get power, freedom, and full self-expression where you felt it's been lacking within your relationship dynamics, whatever. I'm going to leave the link at the underneath in the comment section. It's going to be next week. It's a training that I'm doing that's 45 minutes to an hour long, a 1-hour free training on how to transform stress, anger, anxiety, depression over the holidays into basically your best year ever. So this is ideal for anyone who's expanding, going through a transition, maybe going through a divorce, maybe feeling like they've hit rock bottom and feeling like they're drifting with no purpose. I'm going to train you in really how to regain that and teaching you basically, removing the curtain, showing the 5 shifts that actually I show my private exclusive mastermind clients on how they can transform it. So I'm going to leave the link in the, it's basically bepowerfullyaligned.com/webinar. So I'm going to leave that underneath. Make sure you register for next Wednesday. There's going to be a replay for 24 hours. And there's nothing for sale. There will be nothing for sale on this webinar, I promise you. This is just a training on exactly how I take my clients through getting them powerfully aligned. And there is nothing for sale. This is basically a gift, a post-Christmas gift. It's going to be Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I really want you there and letting people know, bring them into this group, let them know if they're struggling with any anxiety and depression, any transitional, if they're going through a breakup, if they're going through a divorce, if they're going anything, this is for you as a free training. So I have a commitment that I've made that I'm going to really step it up and answer any questions that you guys have in this group with free trainings, and give you all the guidance that you need in order to become really powerfully aligned with the highest, most badass version of yourself, so that you can have the best year ever. I had a really rough summer after I sold my practice. I went through a period of time where I was lost, and I didn't know who I was. I didn't have a purpose, and I got help. I got coaching, I got mentorship, I got trainings like the one that you're about to see next week. So definitely log on and enter your information and be there live. I'll be taking some questions, and I hope to see you guys there. All right, how much is it? It's free next week, my dear. It's free. So it's for 6 p.m. Pacific, so it's 9 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday night next week. So I'm just going to put the link underneath. You can check it right now, bepowerfullyaligned.com/webinar. So it'll be right there, and yeah, it's a free training. All right, Kathleen, peace out. Love you guys and appreciate you. Please ask a question, and I will post a response. Woo woo, Tara Jane, how have you been doing since our first session, my dear? Last week she was having a bit of a rough week, and we had our session, and have you noticed your anger and your levels of anxiety and the feelings about yourself have transformed just by changing your mindset? This is amazing. I'm so baffled and blown away by the fact that if you just shift your mindset, amazing things happen in your life. So I just wanted to say thank you for participating and being a part of my life and giving me, awesome, Tara, awesome, and giving me an opportunity to teach. One of my highest values is teaching. So if you give me a question, I'm going to answer it regarding stress, anxiety, depression, transformation. And Carolyn, you were there. Thank you. God bless you. I miss you, hun. Make sure you're there at the training next week. Awesome, Tara Jane. Been looking at everything differently already. I know, this is powerful stuff, darling. We get over a shitty pity party, and life looks a lot differently. I'm just really grateful that I have this really cool international group of people that have questions for me. I'm, as a sufferer of anxiety, as going through depression and knowing what it looks like to want to end things, it's my highest priority to be able to take people from that state and show them by just making a few steps and dedicating themselves to a few things. Yes, you can register. Alice, you have 24-hour free replay afterwards, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull remove the curtain and show everybody what I do with patients, with my patients and my clients. Like I'm in clinic right now, so they come in with stress and tension and headaches and digestive problems, and it's all based on the anxiety and the transitions that they're going through, all that stuff. And I just show them a few things, and I take them through a process. Now I don't do one-on-one sessions anymore. I do a program that actually guides you into transforming into actually your best year ever. How do I know? Because I had the worst year ever in the summer, and now it's turned out to be one of the best years ever. And I want to show you how to get there easily. God bless. I'm going to leave the link at the bottom. Please get registered ASAP. Peace out.